Okay, so this is the subject of our video today. All comes down to one drain plug. So this is the drain plug for the transfer case. It's a size 10 hex. That's what you need to know. Now, when you put it in, you put thread locker on, and this is tightened out into your transfer case when you drain it. It's only done to 14 foot-pounds. You see it here. It's pretty simple. Nothing fancy about it. There you go. See? Pretty straightforward, right? This here caused me so much issues. More than I've ever had on any cars. And I've worked on some old muscle cars. I've worked on newer cars. Hey, I've even worked on my own Infiniti and stuff like that. Obviously, you guys have seen some of the videos, I'm sure. And this has caused me so much issues. Would not come out at all. Like, I tried everything. I'll detail it more in the video. I just want to show you a brand new one, what it looked like, so you can see. I actually bought this to replace the one, knowing I'd ultimately have to drill it out and use a spline extractor and extract it out, and even that wouldn't come out. This thing wouldn't come out. So now my old one still sits in the car to this day, and I can't get it out. I've even spoke to shops. I went to the dealership, I went to shops, I went to transmission specialists, and I said, am I doing something wrong? Is there anything else you guys can think of to tell me that I can do, or anything I messed up on? And the answer has consistently been no. You've done everything we would have done. We have no idea why you've encountered problems with taking out your drain plug. It's very unusual. Let's go talk about it a bit more, shall we? Alright, so here is me actually in 2019 working on this. Now, I've made some mistakes on here, but this is also a level of frustration. This is not me starting. This is me working on it for a bit, actually, at this point. I'm trying everything. I've even hit it a hammer. I've already done it many times, so at this point, it's just like trying to give it some taps. Not to move the ratchet, but to try and shock it. So what's happened here, essentially, is my transfer case drain plug will not move at all. At all. Like, it will not move. You see I put a thing on there. I'm using the right 10 size 10 hex. I'm using that, no problem. And you can see I'm putting leverage. This is only supposed to be 14 foot-pounds, people. And it just would not move. It would just boggle my mind. And at this point, I'm getting super frustrated. And I'm showing you here. Again, for example, one of the big mistakes I'm making here now, but unfortunately, it's one that kind of happens because I'm working on my back and I don't have a full-on lift, is when I'm trying to loosen, I'm pushing instead of pulling. You should always pull when you're trying to loosen something, because right now you can see here, I put that on and I'm pushing, and it does you'll see in a minute, and it's quite painful to watch, although you don't actually see what happens, but I actually hit my knuckles on that frame there. The actual 10 millimeter, before the drain bolt even shifted, the size 10 hex shattered. I mean, there was pieces all over the ground, and my hand, now mind you, it was an older size 10, but still, it shattered, and my hand collided with that frame, and I have a fairly large scar, not a large scar, I've got a scar. It still sits there now. A big chunk of my finger came out with it. Wasn't fun. At this point, again, I'm just trying to shock it. I'm trying to use leverage, and it just would not move. This is 2019. This is why the video took so long for me to get out. After this happened in the fall near winter, and then after that I said, okay, I'll work it on in 2020. And then, is that thing? Oh, no, not yet. It's coming. Just me cringing just watching this right now. Yeah. Anyways, and after that, this is the last. I had already done the transmission, the CVT, which you guys have seen the video, I'm sure. I've done the rear differential. That went well. All went very well. This was the last thing, and it just gave me so many. Look, you see, look at me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What? I'm confused. This is just not happening. That's just the look on my face right now. Look, I'm like, what? I was just staring it down. Like, dude, move. Come on. Shouldn't be happening. So, a couple things to note on here while we talk about this a bit more. Oddly, there was this kind of weird black tar Okay, so let's take a step back for a second. After I had so many problems with this, and I have extractors, bolt extractors and stuff, splined ones. I use a spline bolt extractor. I use a 2 foot breaker bar. I tried heating it up a little bit with a torch as a last resort. I don't mind like doing that with drain plugs normally, but I did. I tried, especially. Oh, there it is. Now, at this point here, my fingers already starting to gush blood, and I have no idea. Adrenaline's pumping, anything like that. I have no idea that blood is now already starting to pour out of my. Like, I mean, it was running down my arm and everything, and I had no idea. I will in a minute, because I'll look and I'd be like, I'm bleeding, and then I had to go deal with that. And I left it at that. After that, I was like, okay, I'll worry about this another time. My hex was destroyed anyways. I only had the one size 10 hex, and it shattered. So wasn't going to happen at this point. And that's when I went down. At this point, I've seen I'm bleeding. I've come out. And yeah. So I attempted again. This is now 2020. You see now, if you watch my other actual video, you'll know that I've taken out the drain plug. And here I am with a new size 10, trying to move it. I've tried. I tried my impact gun. I tried this. The impact gun is good, 250 foot-pounds. Will not budge. I drilled it out and used my splined extractors with a 2 foot breaker bar. It grabbed. It was grabbing. It wasn't like slipping. It gripped that thing. It would not move. So after all this happened and I couldn't get it out, I actually went and I spoke with a couple transmission shops because like, am I missing something here? I've done tons of transfer cases, differentials, all sorts of stuff, and I've never once had this issue. I've had issues with bolts that were rusty, but you know, with heat or with leverage, you can move them. This would not move with anything, even with a 2 foot breaker bar. That there should be no reason. So I'll get to what I've done here in a second. But you see, so anyways, I went to a shop. Let me go back, continue my story here. Spoke with them and who deal with Nissan and Infinities and stuff like that. And they said, no, what I've experienced is very rare. And the black tar, even that black stuff that was embedded within the drain plug, simply is not something they normally see, not to that level anyways. So I'm not sure what happened. What I decided to do, because I couldn't get the drain plug out, is I put in my my rubber hose. I had a pump and try to pump out as much fluid as I could. I got about a third out this way, and then afterwards I tried sealing it the hole a bit better because the hose is smaller than the fill plug hole, and I was able to get a more. Not all. I didn't get all. I was certainly wasn't 5/8 pints that came out, but I got more out. You can see I'm kind of pumping it there, and that stuff. This is by far the worst fluid in the car. The CVT transmission fluid was actually pretty good. The differential fluid, pretty good. This stuff was rancid. It smelled terrible, looked like mud. This needed to be done. So what I did is after I drained it out, I put new fluid in until it poured out, which is what you saw in the proper video. What you didn't see is then after that I pumped more again, and then like what I did here, I put the hose in and I pumped out fluid and drained as much as I could to get the fluid as clean as possible because it needs to be done. So if you encounter this issue, this is the way to work around it. I found anyways, aside from getting a new transfer case, because even when I spoke to the shops and I told them the issues I had, the guy said likely I'm gonna have to get a new transfer case, and I wasn't having that, so I figured I'll do this. So yeah, I just wanted to show you some of the problems I had. It was not an easy process by any means. I ultimately did get it changed. I don't look at that stuff. It's like literally like mud that came out of there. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Anyways, yeah, it was problematic for me, and I hope you guys don't have that problem. If you do, let me know. But this is the way I went around it. I dumped out old fluid, sucked it out as much as I could, pumped fresh fluid in, then resucked it out. I went through a lot. I went through instead of the 0.3 liters, I went through about 1.5 liters. But now I feel confident that I have good fluid in there, and I just wanted to let you guys know. If you have any questions about this, feel free to comment. You know, I always respond within 24 hours-ish or so let me know. Thank you everyone for watching. I do appreciate all the support out there. Don't forget to throw a like on that video if it helped you, if you found the information useful, anything like that. Make sure to like it. Don't forget to subscribe, help the channel grow, and hit the notification if you want to see more of my videos. If you dislike the video, that's okay, no problem at all, but don't be a troll, alright? Make sure you put why in the comments. I mean, maybe I missed something, maybe I got something wrong, maybe there's something you feel better, or you didn't like how I filmed. Whatever it is, put it in there. I make these videos to help people out, so I can only make it better if I get the feedback, but I need the feedback. Just don't be trolling, alright? Otherwise, if you have any other comments, feel free to do so. I answer questions whenever I can. If you want to add something on there, if you have a helpful tip that maybe I didn't cover, I didn't even know about, make sure to put that in the comments as well. I want to thank everyone, and I will see you all next video.